That sounds good. Heisel, see you in a few minutes. We are following this breaking news in the northwest suburbs. We've learned of a large police presence in Streamwood near Yellowstone and Kings Canyon. Police say they're trying to make an arrest of a person who is inside a home. And police won't say what that person is wanted for. They're asking people to avoid this area. We will have an update for you when we get it on our website, and tonight definitely on our news at 10.
A stolen car investigation leads to a deadly Chicago police-involved shooting. Tactical officers were in the 5700 block of Washtenaw on Chicago's north side investigating a stolen car when they say two suspects tried to get in that car. ABC 7's Mayor Kawash reports on what happened next, that led to one man dead and an officer hurt.
Well, people living on this block in West Ridge say they're glad that police were nearby as this entire incident unfolded. One man died from his injuries suffered in this police shooting, while police took another woman into custody. People living in West Ridge woke up to the sound of gunshots outside their homes Tuesday night. Those shots were fired by police officers investigating a stolen sedan near Washtenaw and Ardmore.
My wife woke up and saw it.
CPD says a vehicle pulled up with two men and a woman inside, and two of them tried entering the stolen vehicle, which appears to be this white BMW that was towed away today by police. As officers approached, they say one man ran away while the other got back into their car. After refusing police orders, the man allegedly tried driving off, dragging an officer at the same time, and that's when police fired shots. The suspect was shot in the head and died at a nearby hospital from his injuries.
I'm glad the cop wasn't hurt. I'm glad the cop got the guy. I'm glad I wasn't outside when it happened, but you know, what are you going to do?
David says he was already growing suspicious of the vehicle that the suspects were targeting, as he said it recently appeared on the block and he didn't know whose car it was.
Last 3 days, I think. Yeah, because it parked like cockeyed, you know. It took my spot that I just shoveled out. So
the Civilian Office of Police Accountability is now investigating the use of force in this shooting. From West Ridge, Mayor Kawash, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
Mayor Brandon Johnson challenging members of the Chicago City Council to bring forward their own budget plan, and today they did just that. It does not include a corporate head tax, something the mayor's been pushing for. The plan does include an increase to the garbage collection fee, raising it from $9.50 to $15 a month. The mayor responding today saying he will veto any budget with higher garbage fees.
I don't support a budget that places such an incredible burden on working people.
If the mayor goes for a veto, that's on him. Then he's going to be the one, driving this city toward the fiscal cliff.
27 council members have signed on to the alternative proposal. They've scheduled a series of meetings over the next 2 weeks, hoping to get a budget passed by Christmas. Cook County's property tax surge is now a blame game. Tonight, the county assessor pointing the finger at the Board of Review for skyrocketing bills. Sarah Schulte has the back and forth as taxpayers have just days left to figure out how to pay.
Who is to blame for Chicago homeowners' skyrocketing property tax bills? Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi blames the Board of Review for giving places like Trump Tower big tax cuts. The Board of Review points the finger right back at Kagi. A 39% cut for Trump Tower, the Hilton 33%, a South Michigan Avenue luxury high-rise 32%, and a data center 22%. Cook County Assessor Fritz Kagi says they are all examples of big reductions for commercial properties by the Cook County Board of Review. Kagi says the burden is shifted to homeowners.
2/3 of Black and Latino neighborhoods on the south and west sides would have seen their bills decrease or remain flat if not for these large commercial cuts.
Minnie Terrell's 2024 first installment property tax bill was $87. The 80-year-old Inglewood resident's second installment shot up to over $1,900, making the total for 2024 over $2,000.
I'm a senior and I'm not working, so I don't have money to pay that.
Terrell and others are likely to get relief through homeowner and senior exemptions that were not included in their bills. Many residents lined up today at the assessor's office to sign up for the exemptions. Regardless, Kagi says it does not make up for the reductions given to commercial properties. He says in the 2024 Chicago reassessment, the Board of Review cut values for homes by 1% compared to 17% for commercial properties.
A rigged system produced reductions that were not deserved for big property owners, and it shifted the burden to the tune of $700 on each and every homeowner in Chicago.
The Board of Review says commercial property values were cut because they were overassessed to begin with. In a news conference last week, Commissioner Larry Rogers Jr. says the methodology KG uses to assess all properties has unnecessarily resulted in higher property values for commercial and residential properties.
He's flying the plane while he's fixing the plane. And that's the problem. And when you do that, you have crashes, you have errors of the type that we're seeing coming out of his office.
Rogers calls Kagi the worst Cook County assessor he has ever seen. Time is ticking for the assessor's office to help with 2024 second installment bills. Property taxes are due on December 15th. In the Loop, Sarah Schulte, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
The cost to borrow money is going down. The Fed cutting interest rates today. But as ABC's Perry Russum reports, lawmakers are still fighting over what Americans can afford.
For the third time this year, the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, again by 0.25%.
Consumer spending appears to have remained solid, and business fixed investment has continued to expand. In contrast, activity in the housing sector remains weak.
The cut will impact what you pay on everything from credit cards to buying a home. Before the announcement was made, top officials of the Fed had disagreed publicly over the cut, as inflation has gone up in recent months and hiring has slowed down. It comes as President Trump starts going back on the road, talking the cost of living.
I have no higher priority than making America affordable again. That's what we're going to do.
A new Reuters Ipsos poll shows 56% of Americans disapprove of how the president is handling the cost of living. 31% approve. Over the last 5 years, healthcare, childcare, groceries, rent, and electricity have all gone up. But the president last night dismissed concerns about affordability, calling the issue a Democrat hoax and a con job.
They say, oh, he doesn't realize prices are high. Prices are coming down very substantially. But they have a new word. You know, they always have a hoax. The new word is affordability.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer today.
People are struggling. They can't afford basic needs, and Donald Trump keeps making fun of it by calling it all a giant hoax.
The Fed made today's rate cut with much less information than it usually has. The government shutdown delayed 2 months of jobs and inflation data. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Perry, thanks. Secretary of State Marco Rubio directing diplomats to use a new font. How it's tied to efforts to get rid of inclusion programs.
Science you can eat. We're getting a lesson in weather from a meteorologist who wants more kids to play with their food.
For science, okay. And later, it's the centerpiece of one family's holiday tradition, how they're sharing it with a local neighborhood.
So would you count to 10 for us and loud clear voice?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Jason, what's up?
What can a taco teach you about thunderstorms? Ever wonder what a cloud tastes like? A meteorologist and author, Jason Fraser, is using food to teach children and tonight adults about weather.
That's so cool. I love that hands-on aspect of it. And Jason is joining us now in our State Street studio tonight. Thank you so much for being with us.
Rob, Karen, it's always a pleasure to be here in the Windy City, and it seems like the weather is also the main story as well. So there you go.
A true meteorologist at heart. So this is definitely talking to you. Okay, so we're talking about edible weather.
Yes.
Now that's amazing. How did this idea even come about?
Sure. So I spent the last 9 years being a television meteorologist and decided to leave the business because I had a really big passion for education. I used to do hundreds of school visits, and the number one thing that teachers told me was there's just not enough resources to really engage the kids. And you might remember when you and I were kids, they used to be able to just give you a book, right? And then you would read it. That's not the way these kids learn anymore. It's all about gamifying science, and that's what Drizzle Weather is all about. We're a STEM education entertainment company. We created Edible Weather because, as you can also see on the screen there, people like food. And I figured out with students, if you can tie this to food, they remember a lot more of these weather and climate concepts.
And so that's what Edible Weather is about, learning what's going on in our climate with food.
Yes, and today we are going to do an experiment, Rob. So I hope that both of you are hungry.
Okay.
So
yes,
we
we'll
are going to
take it.
do our cloud parfait experiment. So this is an experiment I do with our kids where we talk about the troposphere, how clouds develop and why they change color. So, y'all are ready?
Ready.
Okay.
All right.
Ready,
So,
yes.
and this is something that you can do at home with your kids as well on the weekends if you want to inspire them to think about weather and climate careers, because STEM careers is something that is growing 3 times faster over the next 5 years.
And we've got some great STEM
yes.
programs in the city of Chicago, too.
All right,
Yeah.
so I need both of you to take a graham cracker.
Okay.
All right, take a graham cracker. And what you are going to do is you are going to take the spoon out, and what we are going to do is we are going to crush the graham cracker as much as we can. The goal here is to create
break it up.
what this looks
yeah.
like, which is some sand, because right here at the surface, what are we usually walking on? Either sand or on dirt, right?
So this is the earth right here. We're
Now,
cracking up
if
here.
you
Okay.
want to expedite this, you can also take your spoon
okay.
and you
Love
can
this.
also jam it in
I'm
there
in.
as well. That's okay. Don't worry. We're going to make a mess. That's all right.
it's
Don't worry
fun.
about it. We'll get the intern, Rob, to clean it up.
You're right. Right.
Playing
Now,
with the food, I love it.
If you are like me and you are impatient, you can also just take your hand and just crush it,
Smash it.
That way as well. So this is where I usually just talk to the kids about. Most of us are on the ground, and when you're on the ground, you're walking around, but most weather happens where? Either on the ground or up in the air.
Yeah.
Up in the air, right? So the next thing that we usually will talk about, since you had said most weather begins in the atmosphere, well, now this means we need to talk about clouds. So this is when I usually talk about what kind of clouds people like, and just curious, what's your favorite cloud?
Oh, I don't know. What is is it the stratus
The
cloud?
stratus. We have stratus clouds. We have
Right.
cumulus clouds.
Yes, cumulus are the nice ones. So
Is that the big puffy cloud?
Those are the
there we
big
go.
puffy
Okay,
clouds.
thank you.
Okay,
So
cumulus
what I'm
clouds.
going to do is I'm going to give you a cumulus cloud, and we are going to be using whipped cream. So, boom.
Yeah, boom. Give me some.
Look at that.
Okay.
All right. We have that.
Nice.
Hopefully
My cloud's
you have your
Right,
sugar
yeah,
rush
right,
here.
yeah.
All right.
Like
So
sugar
then the
rush
next
food.
thing we usually talk about is the fact that the clouds change color based on not only your geography, but also based on the time of day. What's your favorite cloud color? Just curious.
Cloud color?
Yes.
Ooh, pink.
Pink.
Yeah.
Like a nice sunset one.
Yeah.
I like white, just your classic white.
Rob, you're so boring. Come on, Rob.
I'm sorry.
All
Right.
So I'm big into orange, right? And usually we tend to see that during either sunset or sunrises. And what's really interesting too is both of you could be looking at the same cloud, but because the light is on an 8-minute delay, you could potentially be looking at the same cloud, but a different color of that cloud, which is very interesting. So what we are going to do right now is we are going to take some sprinkles and we are going to change your cumulus cloud. So why don't you just
Pour some
pour
in
your
my hand or just right
no,
directly
just
in the
right
cup?
in there. Right in there.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Orange
Oh wow.
in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Clearly she likes
I know.
Lots of colors.
Sprinkles.
Lots of colors.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So then the next thing we discuss with the kids is we talk about precipitation types. So clearly here in Chicago, you guys get a lot of precipitation, especially snow right around this time,
It
right?
could be all in one day.
It seems like,
Seems
like it, yeah.
So now here's the fun part. Today, you get a choice with the type of precipitation that you want. Do you want flurries or do you want big snowflakes?
Ooh, flurries.
You want flurries.
I'll do
All
the
right.
flurries.
All right. So this is where I usually start telling the kids about the fact that there are 4 types of precipitation. So you can have rain, you can have sleet, you can have snow. And usually they get very excited whenever we start breaking out the
flurries, but
marshmallows.
there's been a lot of them.
Oh, yeah, just go to town,
Might as
Rob.
well
Go
be
to
a
town.
snowstorm.
Go to town.
Okay, there you
Honestly,
go.
that's what it looked like earlier.
Yeah.
Right, it did. I'm
Here
telling
in
you.
Chicagoland.
Right.
And then this is when I say, all right, well, where does the snow come from? It comes from a cloud, right? So that means we need a little bit more whipped cream. So,
Okay.
boom.
Give me a little.
Oh, just a little. Oh, come on, Rob. Come on. This is all about, having fun here. And the last thing that we will do with the kids is we'll say, whenever you fly, what tends to happen? You go above the clouds. What color does the sky appear to be?
Blue.
Blue. Yeah. So what does this mean? We need to change your cloud parfait to blue. So what you are going to do right now is you are going to take just the bottom quarter of your spoon.
Okay.
And what you are going to do is you are just going to stir it in there. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. The goal here is to make it look this blue at the top.
Gosh, he's the expert over there. Mine doesn't look anything like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ari's actually done this before.
Right.
She is so good at this.
Yeah, right. Well, her kids are younger than mine. I'm out of practice. She's great.
You get a participation.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
There you go. But look, if you enjoy doing this, which I hope that you do,
Yeah.
we have put together 25 of these experiments in this book, Edible Weather. It is available on Barnes & Noble and Amazon.
You are
This is
terrific.
amazing.
You make it fun, so personable, even for us old folks.
Yes.
Kids must love you. They really must.
We partner a lot with after-school programs and summer enrichment programs. So we are hoping that some of you, maybe here in the Chicago area, might see this. They might want to do something. Call me.
Get these in those classrooms for sure. Yeah.
You can get it at
awesome.
Barnes & Noble as well as Amazon, right?
Yep.
You mentioned, okay, so you can order the great holiday gift idea.
Absolutely.
Jason, you're terrific. Come back and see us next time
I
you're in town.
appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for the invitation. You guys are great.
Yeah, bring some sunshine with you maybe next time.
I know.
Next time.
We do that one. There's experiment somewhere
Oh, by
in
the
there.
way, before we go, you got to taste it. Taste it.
oh, okay.
That's the most obvious thing is we have
I'm
to
just gonna
taste it. What do you think? I know
Oh, those are the marshmallows are good. They're like Lucky Charms.
Not bad.
Now we're gonna have blue teeth.
There you go.
Not exactly.
All right,
Jason,
take a live look outside right now. This is dinner for us, Karen.
That's right. So just a few more chances for snow for this week. Before some dangerous wind chills arrive, your AccuWeather forecast
Yeah, so
is next.
The little marshmallows coming maybe.
I like
Okay,
it.
we don't want the
They're
big
kinda crunchy.
ones.
Are
Yeah.
clouds crunchy?
Yeah, right.
Get out.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio has ordered diplomats to return to using the Times New Roman font instead of Calibri on government documents.
Now, this reverses a change made under the Biden administration designed to make it easier for some people to read the documents. The return to Times New Roman takes effect today. All templates for official documents are to be updated to remove the Calibri font.
Food and weather. It's something we should do all winter long. This has been a long one.
Actually, this weekend, though, just staying cozy indoors with a nice, good, hot meal
Stick that thing in the stick that thing in the freezer so it becomes like an icicle, because it seems like that's what's coming Saturday and Sunday. Heisel.
Yeah, it's going to be frigid here this upcoming weekend. So the 30 degrees that we have right now doesn't feel too bad, right, compared to what you see here this upcoming weekend, that AccuWeather alert for both Saturday and Sunday. But first, we have the chance to get a little coating overnight tonight. Then tomorrow, we could see some peaks of sun. Temperatures are in the 20s, and then another round of snow at night. That one is also about maybe a coating to 2 inches of snow. It's cloudy and cold on Friday in the 20s, and then another chance for snow on Saturday, and also getting very cold behind that system. All right, right now we are just cloudy. We're watching this little system here. It's a very weak disturbance that could produce some light snow for us, and we could have some patchy coatings, especially for our most western and southern counties. 18 degrees the low today in the city, 12 degrees out for outlying areas overnight tonight, with that light snow mainly before midnight, and again mainly west and south. Some slick spots are possible because of that. Tomorrow, temperatures are in the 20s. We could have some peaks of sun, especially through the first half of the day, and then the clouds come right back and temperatures are in the 20s. Here's a look at how much snow we're expecting. This is the GFS. It's showing us that for a lot of us, it just ends up being some patchy coatings. But notice here, the further south you go, so maybe Kankakee gets close to an inch, Pontiac and LaSalle get close to 2 inches. But if this moves up a little bit closer to the city, this could shift a bit, and the 1 to 2 moves a little bit closer to the city. So something we'll be watching as this forms tomorrow. So here's the timeline. This is 8 p.m. to show you that the main area of snow is staying to our south. So we're getting the very northern edge of this, and that timing is mainly between about 8 p.m. all the way through about 1-2 in the morning, and then we're done with that. Friday afternoon, we're close to 30, and it's just cloudy for Friday. Then we go into this weekend, 12 the high on Saturday, and I think that's going to be in the morning. Our temperatures are falling throughout the day, and we'll have some snow showers around as well. 9 on Sunday. Wind chill values on Sunday morning are going to be dangerously cold, anywhere from 20 to 30 below zero. Here's a look at the timing for this snow system. This one has the potential to drop several inches of snow on Saturday, but the latest trends are that it's going to stay a little bit further south. So where you see some of these darker colors here in near Champaign right now is looking like we're going to have the most accumulation. Going through the clock here to show you that as we get to 3 p.m., that is still staying to the south. But with these systems, time and time again, I've forecasted them, and they will wobble a bit here and change. So keep yourself up to date with the forecast, because we have to make sure that stays to the south, because it could potentially again land over us depending on the track of that system. So here's a look at the European model showing you that along I-80 and south of that, it's showing about 1 to 3 inches of snow, with the pink colors that show 6 to 10 to our south. But then the GFS has it completely missing us. So again, something we will be watching closely, because any small movement to that will change our accumulations here into this weekend. So again, the chance for some snow Thursday night. Friday, it's just cloudy and cold. The AccuWeather alert for Saturday and Sunday. 12 is, I think, the temperature in the morning. It's going to be in the single digits in the afternoon on Saturday. And then for the Bears game, wind chills, I think, throughout the game, anywhere from 5 to 10 below. So just brutally cold this weekend.
Wind chills that you gotta just.
That's what's going to get you, especially for the fans at Soldier Field.
Yes, and then tailgating, keep it inside, because wind chills are going to be the worst in the morning. The wind will slowly die down throughout the day.
Somebody for sure not wearing a shirt. I already can say that. You're going to see it on TV. There'll be a Bears fan.
Yeah.
Hopefully I don't get frostbite.
Yikes.
Thanks, Heisel.
All right, still to come, keeping a local family tradition alive, and people flocking to see this more than 100-year-old piece of holiday history.
There it is, the baby Jesus, plus the new protections Italian pasta and other foods now have from the United Nations. We'll explain after the break.
Italian food has become the first national cuisine to be recognized by UNESCO, the UN's cultural body. The status marks the successful end to a 3-year campaign to have the nation's traditional way of growing, harvesting, preparing, and serving food recognized. It's a new status as an intangible cultural heritage. Should help protect it from imitators.
Oh, and that just looks fantastic. Yeah. For years, a Chicago woman has turned her living room into a nativity scene, and people from all over the world come bearing gifts, excited to see the baby Jesus.
And now, as ABC7's Michelle Gallardo reports, there is another surprise some are calling a miracle in itself.
María, entre tanto, negada.
Sitting in her small living room, Fluvia Reyes shares with her neighbors a reading from her favorite book, El Mártir de Golgotha, a 19th century Spanish novel surrounding the life of Jesus Christ. Both the book and the baby Jesus that takes center stage in her beloved nativity scene have been passed down in her family for generations.
From my great-grandfather, and then from my grandfather, and then from my father.
The nativity scene in itself is a sight to behold, containing hundreds of pieces, some as old as the baby Jesus itself, others gifted to her by people who come to visit from all over the city and suburbs, adding to her collection year by year. Setting it up is a 2-week process.
For me, it's important to keep in their own tradition.
The baby Jesus itself was passed down to her in 1978, but she recalls even as a young child, people coming to her family's home in Guatemala to pray alongside it.
People, they donate and they come from the mountains and they bring apples, they bring a lot of fruit for the baby Jesus.
Visiting today, Reyes' neighbors, also with Guatemalan roots, explain why they are drawn to stop by year on year.
I've been coming to enjoy her nativity and her company, and it's just so special knowing that it's from Guatemala, where my mother came from. Growing up, putting the nativity was definitely the priority and something that was emphasized more so than putting up your tree.
And while it's impossible for her to determine the exact age of the baby Jesus, Reyes believes it's at least 150 years old, same as her book. You can look, but not touch. It's that delicate. By the time the Christmas season is over, Reyes says several dozen people will have stopped by to pay homage to her baby Jesus. In Hollywood Park, I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, really neat.
Wow.
And it shows how big it is behind Michelle. Yeah. It is just this massive nativity.
2 weeks to set up. Yeah. Yes. And that book is historic as the little baby Jesus. We were talking though early growing up that we couldn't put baby Jesus in until Christmas Day, or you have different traditions, right?
Yeah, my mom does the same thing. Christmas Day.
Yeah, so there you go. That was a good
Beautiful. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you tonight at 10 o'clock.